Hello, Brittany Parker. Today we're going to do a 4th of July look. Colors used today. This is Scarlet. It's a super bright red. I'm going to go for a little bit more muted. I sometimes have a hard time wearing red. So if you have a hard time wearing bright reds, I do have a muted Sandstone. And even for my eye, I picked Pomegranate, which is more of a muted red. I do have a pop of blue to go with my shirt. Glass Slipper, a very pretty shimmer, and Cafe so that I have a good transition shade, and Glamazing because it is a powder illuminator and it makes everything pop. So first though, I can never start with my eyes. If you want to just look at my eyes, zoom forward into the video because I'm gonna start with my face. Here we go. I have already moisturized with my Seint cream. I love this. It's so thick. I know you know it's not going to give you any issues with your makeup. And then I always put my SPF, my Super Goop. I have the glow screen and I have the matte. I like the matte. It's mineral, 100% mineral, and it goes on really nice. It gives your skin a really smooth finish. So I am going to be using my favorite makeup. If you've not seen one of my billion videos, I legit love this makeup. It is so much different from all my other makeup that I've ever used. My other makeup dried me out so bad. Now I am dealing with a bad breakout. I haven't broken out this bad in a while. You know, you think you'd get home and be like on summer break and you wouldn't be as stressed until your kids won't stop fighting. That's always real fun. Anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Seint makeup is a completely customizable to what you want, your needs, your likes, your budget. This is a big guy. This is 27, meaning I could fit 27 of these large tins in here, 9 on each layer. But you could do a 12 where you fit 6 on top on 6 on bottom. And then we even have a smaller one, like a 4, if you just want to try it out and you get your 4 basic foundation colors. If you want to do that, send me a message. Make sure you follow me, subscribe to my channel so that you can get more tips and tricks. I don't bug you, but it's as a resource for you as you're learning Seint. So if anything comes up, you have a direct link or way to get a hold of me and to ask me all your questions. So I'm gonna start with my contour and my detail brush, okay? My detail brush is my very favorite for contour. It just fits the angles of your face the best, in my opinion. All right, so this is a darker contour, and I personally really like it. They do have lighter contours. When I was first matched, I was matched to 2. But as you get more comfortable with contour, you can kind of try more and see, you know, which ones work for you. And as you get darker, maybe more color during the summer, you can try the more bold contour. The great part about using a darker one is less. You can use less, and less is best. So I'm just going to put my contour on the perimeter of my face, pretty much, perimeter of my forehead. Okay, but you can see I'm putting on light. So even though it looks super dark and super crazy, I'm not putting it on crazy. Okay, so you make sure that you just stipple, you're not swiping. Start at the ear and come down, but you can see how the shape of it is literally just fitting the bottom of my cheekbone. I do kind of kiss it a little bit higher because the lower you put your contour, it's actually going to drag your face down. So I do kind of hug it a little high. Okay, and as you bring it, you don't go in further than the outside of your eye. Okay, your jawline. I kind of hit the in front of my ear and bring it down. Same thing here. This really helps to chisel and give you just a little bit tighter of a jawline. Okay. Now, like I said, I am struggling with breakouts. And so this is makeup, not magic. It's not going to take away my blemishes. It's not going to definitely take away any of the scabs that I got going on. But I'll show you how I deal with it, okay? So I do have discoloration on my nose. So before I contour my nose, I do like to put a light layer of my main highlight, my foundation shade. Just a very kind of quick little layer, just to give me some coverage. There you go. All right, so I'm gonna tap the sides of my brush and just tap it on like a stencil. Bring it into your brow and just the top part, the side of your nose. And I kind of hit the bottom just like that. Same thing, a little bit underneath my lip. If it gets a little messy, who cares? These all blend out. They all kind of like work together. So it does not have to be perfect. You don't have to stress that it has to be like exactly one way. All right, after I put, actually, I'm gonna move on to my under eyes. They're driving me nuts. So I have a lot of darkness today. I'm gonna go into my Demi and go into Y01. It's gonna help cancel out my purple blue under eyes. And just kind of just feathering it on just the darker areas. And then I'll flip my brush over and just kind of tap it out. Now this is the same thing where I'm not gonna get rid of my under eye bags. I'm not gonna get rid of my underlying wrinkles, my fine lines, but I could kind of help get rid of some of the distraction of them. Same thing with this big old trough. It's not going anywhere. Maybe the color is though, which I like. I do kind of like to tap into the Y1. It's for the brightness. Now, if something's receding, it's darker. So I have this shadow here where my trough is. So I'll take a little bit of the Y1. It's so bright. It's going to help pull it out a little bit and make it look not so deep. And I just hit it just in that deepest part, but just like that. All right, same thing on the other eye, my Y01. And I tap it in just those darker areas. I do have kind of a vein right there. Brighten that up. And I always bring it on the outside of my eyes. I have dark under eyes right here too, so I'll kind of bring it underneath my lash line. Now, I had someone get mad at me once because I didn't share my colors, but Demi really is a science, and what works for me really may not work for you. And so it is kind of important to send me that picture just so I can help make sure that the color, I don't want you to buy something that's not going to work for you. So send me the picture and I'll do my best to make sure that we get you the color you need. And sometimes it kind of takes a mix of colors and you really don't know until you start playing. So just like for me, I use the Y01 to get most of it. And then I'll pop a little bit of the Y1 just in that darkest area, just to kind of bring it forward a little bit, just to kind of make it look a little bit more even. All right, under eyes, done. Okay, now I'm gonna go into my, let's see, my 3D brush, and I'm gonna go into my main highlight. This is my darker highlight. It's my foundation color. And I just tap, so same thing, it's not a whole big push. You're gonna tap and stipple onto your face. And this is one layer. This whole system really technically can be 100% one layer. I like to do my foundation colors, my 2 highlights and my contour as one layer. And then I'll add, and I like to blend those out just so that I can get a base and see what, I'm kind of working with. And then I'll add my other stuff like my lip and cheek or my bronzer. But you technically can do it all in one single layer. That's how it really was designed. I'm gonna tap into it and just get a little bit on the forehead. If you have a smaller forehead or you want a brighter forehead, you can skip putting your main highlight on your forehead altogether. If you need the coverage, if you have large pores, you will want to maybe put the main highlight just to help camouflage those, because the brighter colors you put on problem areas like pores and wrinkles, it's just gonna make it stand out more. So you just kind of gotta be thoughtful about your face. Okay, so that was my main highlight, my foundation color. And now I'm gonna go back to my detail brush. I'm gonna use the small end. I'm gonna go into my brightener. And so now my brightener is what you think of as concealer. I'm just gonna tap, same thing. Now I already put my Demi on my eyes, but I'm just gonna put a little bit on my lids just because I need to set it and prime it and get it all ready for my eyeshadow. And look at the redness, gone. I didn't have to like put anything crazy. It's just my highlight. And I will kind of tap it on the outside. Now, if you wanted extra brightness, because I did the Demi, I technically don't need any other makeup underneath my eyes. If you wanted a little bit of extra brightness, you could tap on just the littlest bit. I mean, little. Okay. And then I'm just going to kind of stipple and merge those. Okay. I'm going to use my finger and go down my nose. Maybe I should have used a brush. Sometimes I make it like too thick, but you know what? We're all fine today. I don't like to have to like make it perfect, you know? I'm a mom, I'm running out. My kids should be running in at any moment, and I'm hoping they don't until I finish. All right, blend it out. This is where the magic happens, where because they're all creams, they're all the same textures and consistency, the same makeup, they work together and they blend out so beautifully. So you always start in your light areas first, and you just kind of, you're literally just pouncing on your face and just blending them together. And because they're creams, they melt in like butter. Okay, when you come to your contour on your cheeks, you blend up. When you come to your forehead, blend that into your hairline. If after you blend, you notice that you want just a little bit more definition, just add more. Make sure you blend your contour down. This is your one spot where you're really blending it down, because contour is mimicking those shadows. Okay, for my nose, I'm just gonna pinch this brush and just kind of go down. All right, so like I said, it's at this point, you want a little bit more definition. This is a buildable product. You just go and you kind of just build a little bit more on to whatever you're liking. Don't start heavy. Don't start heavy. Don't do it. You don't need to. Okay. And really, you don't need to add more. It's if you want more, because there's no rules. You get to do whatever you want to do. Okay. There's that. I'm going to now go to my blush and bronzer brush and go into my favorite Bella bronzer. And I kind of tap into my Illuminator, which is rose gold, just to get a little extra glow during the summer. I actually do it all year long. Summer, winter, it doesn't matter. And your bronzer is warmer, and it's going to go more in the middle of mid forehead and the tops of the cheek, where your contour went the bottom of your cheek and the very top of your forehead. But really they blend together. But if you went outside, you got a little bit too much sun, where are you going to get burned? Because that's where you're going to put your bronzer. Bronzer is the one step that I would never skip. Even if I'm doing like the no makeup and I just am going to use demi under my eyes, I would always use bronzer just to help warm up my skin and give me a little bit more coverage, but really just to make me look alive. Okay, bronzer down the neck, flip it over to the fluffy side, make sure you have no harsh lines. If you brought too much bronzer, don't worry, you can brighten that forehead. I just took my detail brush, I didn't add any more makeup, and you just kind of feather it out. Same thing if you bring it too high on your cheeks or too forward on your cheeks. You can just kind of diffuse the color just like that and take the fluffy and you're good to go. Okay, I'm going to go into my smudge brush. I love the smudge brush. It is actually an eyeshadow brush, but all these brushes are versatile. Whoa, they're so versatile, you could chuck them. No, but I'm gonna tap into my main highlight, and this is where I will come and spot check. Okay, so these are blemishes, they're scabs. I'm not gonna take away the texture, but I could hide the dot, right? So that is what I'm doing. Now scabs, we all know, are more difficult to cover. So you just kind of try your best. If it's in your cheek area, don't worry. But you can kind of just take your finger and just kind of tap it out a little bit. But I'll just kind of tap that. Where's my brush? And I'm just going to kind of blend this a little bit better. Okay, there we go. Okay, now's the fun part. I'm going to go in, I'm going to start with Sandstone. So I'm going to show you a more muted red just in case you have a difficult time wearing like a bright pop of red. Okay, so this is Sandstone. Like I said, it's more muted. I'm going to take my brush and just go straight into it. This is the blush and bronzer brush. And you're just going to kind of start soft, okay? And I just kind of go in these like little circles. But you just kind of bring it up. I like to bring it up to my temple. But I mean, Sandstone is gorgeous. Sandstone's a pretty red all year long. Just kind of gives you a beautiful cheek. That's a beautiful cheek. That color. Yeah, I like Sandstone. Okay, same thing. You just tap. I'm not getting a whole huge swipe. And I just kind of softly first put it on, kind of make sure I have the color where I want it. And then I'll kind of start blending it out. Same thing. If you bring your blush to forward, to high. Have you seen though where people are bringing it up underneath their eyes? You could bring it on the bridge of your nose. But you can soften the color either with a damp perfector sponge and just help pick up any of the excess, or do that little trick where you just kind of flicking it and diffusing the color a bit. Okay, so that is Sandstone. And by itself, you can build this color as bright or as heavy as you like and that you want. Okay, so these are super buildable. You can go as crazy red clown as you want and be looking cute, or soft, just nice red cheek. I'm going to show you a little bit of Scarlet. Now, Scarlet is definitely a brighter red. And I mean, you just need a little bit of this. I'm just kind of pop it on the apples of my cheeks there. See how it's a little bit brighter? So this is Scarlet. And this is an extra step you totally don't need to. But because it's the 4th, let's kick it up. So that's Sandstone and Scarlet mixed together. And not a lot, right? It wasn't too crazy, but that's cute. Okay. Before I get to the eyes, you know what we got to do? I'm going to set, especially because I put the brightener on my lids. I need to make sure that I set the powder or the cream. Because look, I already put a little bit too much. So I'm going to take my brush first and pick up any excess and blend it out. Same thing with my under eyes. Make sure I don't have anything crazy. Okay. And then I'll tap into, this is using just my buff brush. I have a powder brush. I probably could have used that, huh? Actually, I love the buff brush. Okay, so I'm just going into our vanilla dust all in my palette. All of it. This is my setting powder. And I'm setting my brightener that I used as my primer. My eyelid primer, okay? My eyeshadow. And I really do like to make sure that it's set, okay? And since I'm here, I might as well. I like to set my highlight areas. If you have any breakouts, like I had these little spots, I will kind of make sure that I set any zit areas. First off, if they're a big raised bump, it helps so that they're not just like glaring at everybody all angrily. If they're kind of fresh zits, it helps them so they're not, as oily. Sorry, I know this is gross. All right, for my nose, no matter what, I have this discoloration and it just, it's my skin. It's okay. It's my face. But I just kind of tap a little extra of my brightening, or not my brightening, my main highlight, which is darker. And I always kind of just have an extra little bit of coverage on my nose. And it's fine. I'm going to go into my powder. And I mean, very softly, I'm setting that. If you wear glasses, it's hot. Make sure you come all the way up and across here for your glasses, for your shades. Okay, I'm gonna start with a transition shade. If you just go into your eyeshadows and you start with like some dark color, you're gonna have a hard time blending it. Okay, remember, we need to build this up. Let's start slow. So first things first is I'm gonna go into Chai, but I need my cleaning tile. I'm gonna pop this guy out. Okay, as you get your makeup, keep 1 tin at least. I like to keep 2. 1 to pop these guys out, and 1 if you want to, like if I wanted Sandstone in my purse, I would just pop it out of my palette, put the lid in, and put that in my purse. Okay, my cleaning tile. Make sure, I don't even know what the last time I did my makeup. Oh, I did it 2 days ago. Okay, I just make sure it's kind of cleaned up. I'm gonna pop that into my palette. Watch, you just pop it in and it's magnetic. And I'm gonna go into Chai first. This is going to help me to, first it's just a pretty color. And it's gonna help like define my eye shape, but it's also gonna help me blend those darker colors. Okay, so this is Chai. This is like such a basic brown that's like perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So if you're looking for just like the everyday brown, it's kind of like a taupey brown, but it gives you a really nice kind of definition that's soft and natural, but works with so many different eye looks. All right. Forever, I got it confused with Cafe, which is Cafe is also a very beautiful brown, basic brown, but it's more of a cool toned, almost like a purple undertone brown. With my cool colors, I absolutely love it. It's like my favorite. But we have a lot of really good neutral browns that all have subtle differences. So if you're not sure which one to get, message me and I can kind of help pick it out for you or give you a couple choices. All right, so this is just Cafe, not Cafe, Chai. And I just flipped my brush over to the small end and just brought it underneath my eyes about halfway. And that's it. Look, it's nothing crazy. You could do it. It's just some windshield wiper motions. And now I'm ready for some craziness. Okay, first I'm gonna go into Pomegranate. This is red. Now I'm not a really big red makeup eye wearer. I just really am not, but I'm gonna just bring this kind of on the outside. If you have really mature eyelids, this stippling motion is gonna be your best friend. You're gonna want to stipple and not do like the swiping. You're gonna have a hard time getting it into or to cover your eyelid evenly. So I just kind of will stipple. Now I just brought it here on the outside. You can kind of bring it up onto that little hood and about halfway. That's a really pretty color. It's just showing a little bit more brown. It is more red like in person, but it's really pretty. This is Pomegranate. But you see how I kind of place the color first in these little, like a little 7, little outside V here. And then I'll kind of soft little circles. And I like to blend out and up. That way when my eyes close, open, you could still see the color. Okay. Okay, I'm now gonna go into this, oh goodness, this, I think I said the wrong color. Give me a second, because I think, oh, it is Glass Slipper. It's Glass Slipper. I was like, wait, that doesn't look like it. It is a really pretty shimmer. I'm gonna pop it, but do you see how it has a little bit of a blue silver to it? So I'm gonna pop it right there. More so like on the bottom part of my lid right here, closest to the lash line. And right here in the apple, kind of bring it up. Now I do have a little bit of fallout, but don't worry, I'll brush that off. Okay, so I'm just using my finger. And it's definitely for the apple part and for your inner corner, but I'm trying to keep this lower. Usually I'll swipe it even higher. I'm trying to keep it lower to the lash line, but right here in the middle, I'll kind of bring it up. That's pretty. Okay, this is where I'm gonna get my eyeshadow brush, if I could find it. Where did I put it? Oh, it's right in front of me. I'm gonna go into my cleaning tile. I'm gonna go into Glamazing. This is our powder illuminator. And this, I'm just gonna pop it so it's more of a white. So this is my red, white, and blue, my own little version of it. And just pop it in that inner corner. Okay. And bring it into this inner corner and up. Okay. I would even bring it underneath the brow. But less is more up there. You just need a little bit. Okay. All right, let's do this side. Tap, tap, tap. The inner corner. So this is still obviously super shiny, super shimmer. So maybe not for the more very mature eyes. You could still get similar look with more of a matte. So instead of doing like Glamazing, which is super shiny and shimmery, maybe Drift, which is a low fleck shimmer. But there's different colors we could, you know, trade out. So I'm gonna go into that glass slipper again, just to kind of brighten that up. And I'm actually gonna go into the blue. And just kind of right there in that center. I feel like a Pepsi can. I totally feel like a Pepsi can. That's funny. Okay. All right. Now, because this look is already crazy, I'm going to go into this blue. Oh, here's my puppy. Tap, tap, tap. And I'm going to bring the blue underneath. Blue on this side. Now, if you were too nervous of bringing blue underneath your eye, you could totally have brought the pomegranate, the red color, below instead. All right. Did I bring this? For some reason, I don't know if I brought Glamazing on my, below my brow on this side. Okay, I'm gonna go into the pomegranate and just, now that I kind of added that shimmer, just darken that corner or deepen that corner a little bit more. Okay, eyeliner time and mascara. I'm gonna put, I have a It Cosmetics brow brush, what's called Brow Power. I'm gonna do just a little bit of soft eye, nothing crazy of a brow, just because my eyes are so crazy, and I'll be back. Okay, I added some eyeliner to the top and to my waterline, a little bit of a cat eye, mascara top and bottom, and that is kind of the finished look for my eyes. Let's go ahead and quickly do my lips. I'm gonna use the same colors. I'm gonna first line my lips though with the Multitasker brush and my contour. And just like that. Okay, let's go into Sandstone first. That's the more muted red. So that's this guy right here. You could have even lined your lips with Sandstone. And then just to kind of pop it a little bit, I'm gonna go into Scarlet. And just pop Scarlet more in the center. Okay, I'm always a mess when I do my lips. So if you ever come down maybe a little bit too low, you could take your detail brush and just clean it up a little bit. But that is my 4th of July look. A little bit more, I'm not gonna say muted. I feel like a freaking Pepsi can. Okay, before I forget though, I am gonna take my blend brush. It's a more softer brush and just kind of make sure I don't have any crazy glitter on my face. I didn't use any illuminator just because my eyes are so crazy today. But if you're feeling a little bit extra, the same Glamazing that you popped on your eyes, you could take your blend brush, tap into it, and just kind of hit just the tops of your cheeks there. If you're really feeling it, you know, just pop a little bit of Glamazing. You could pop it on your cheeks, a little bit on your nose. You could even pop it on the center of your lip. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic 4th of July.